Whether you think you can or you think you can't, you're right. Coming together is a beginning, keeping together is progress, working together is success. Failure is simply the opportunity to begin again, this time more intelligently. Quality means doing it right when no one is looking. Don't find fault, find a remedy. If everyone is moving forward together, then success takes care of itself. Obstacles are those frightful things you see when you take your eyes off your goal. Chop your own wood and it will warm you twice. Thinking is the hardest work there is, which is probably the reason so few engage in it. The only real mistake is the one from which we learn nothing. You can't build a reputation on what you are going to do. Vision without execution is just hallucination. I do not believe a man can ever leave his business. He ought to think of it by day and dream of it by night. An idealist is a person who helps other people to be prosperous. Anyone who stops learning is old, whether at 20 or 80. Anyone who keeps learning stays young. Money is like an arm or leg, use it or lose it. The only real security that a man can have in this world is a reserve of knowledge, experience, and ability. The air is full of ideas. They are knocking you in the head all the time. You only have to know what you want, then forget it, and go about your business. Suddenly, the idea will come through. It was there all the time. To do more for the world than the world does for you, that is success. There is no man living who isn't capable of doing more than he thinks he can do. Don't just find a job, find a calling. The best way is always the simplest. The attics of the world are cluttered up with complicated failures. The competitor to be feared is one who never bothers about you at all but goes on making his own business better all the time. The highest use of capital is not to make more money, but to make money do more for the betterment of life. I will build a car for the great multitude. It will be large enough for the family, but small enough for the individual to run and care for. There is one rule for the industrialist, and that is, make the best quality of goods possible at the lowest cost possible, paying the highest wages possible. Wealth, like happiness, is never attained when sought after directly. It comes as a byproduct of providing a useful service. I don't know much about history, and I wouldn't give a nickel for all the history in the world. It means nothing to me. History is more or less bunk. Enthusiasm is the sparkle in your eyes, the swing in your gait, the grip of your hand, the irresistible surge of will and energy to execute your ideas. You say I started out with practically nothing, but that isn't correct. We all start with all there is. It's how we use it that makes things possible. When everything seems to be going against you, remember that the airplane takes off against the wind, not with it. I believe God is managing affairs and that He doesn't need any advice from me. With God in charge, I believe everything will work out for the best in the end. There is no disgrace in honest failure. There is disgrace in fearing to fail. A business that makes nothing but money is a poor business. If I had asked people what they wanted, they would have said faster horses.